the lies that Joe Biden spewed from his mouth yesterday on the Circus of a State of the Union. That's what I have for you today, so okay, I got a recap for you of that circus that the Democrats called. I've got a whole list of lies here for you, and I'm going to go through them as fast as I can, because if you didn't catch it, and I know my video, my live stream was like 2.5 hours, so I know you don't want to sit through all that again, and it's boring and everything, and you didn't want to sit through it yesterday, but let's recap what he's lied about. And pretty much it was 90% of his speech. You could tell the Alzheimer's dementia was kicking in, was screaming and yelling and hollering, but also the lies. And I know the man's demented enough, so he can only do what his puppet masters tell him and read off the teleprompt. First lie he said right off the bat was that Trump told Putin he could do whatever he wanted. The truth is, Putin feared Trump, just like China and everybody else around the country, and that was the way it's supposed to be. None of these wars would have been going on if Trump was still in. Then he said we need to stand up to Putin. Well, the only thing that he needs to do is ban Russian oil, and our prices of gas will go down. But he refuses to do that because he's taken money from Russian oligarchs. Then he wants to call the January 6th an insurrection and saying Trump was involved in an insurrection. There was no insurrection, never been charged with an insurrection. Nobody has ever been charged with an insurrection. This is a talking point for him to play and run on, which is a failure. These idiot liberals believe him. And if you've watched Mike Johnson's face, he's the speaker that sits behind Biden. If you watched his face, you'd seen every time he lied, Mike Johnson went like this. I knew it, and if you've been paying attention for these past 3 years that this idiot's been in office, you'd know so too. Then he started talking about violating the oath of office, and he was talking about Republicans. He alone has violated the oath of office with the southern border, withdrawal from Afghanistan. If you don't know by now, he doesn't give two shits about you, me, or anybody else except for himself. That's all he cares about. Then he started talking in front of the Supreme Court justices, and he proves the lawlessness of him and the Democrat Party. They don't care about laws because right now the man's untouchable right now. Because then he started talking about Roe v. Wade, women's health care. Well, I don't give a shit who you are. You could go to a hospital, you could go to a doctor with or without insurance. If you don't make enough money to buy insurance or pay for the insurance or whatever, or your job give you insurance, they'll give you insurance. And you can go anywhere and get health care. Killing an unborn child is not health care. I don't give a shit who you are and what you think. It's not. Then he started blaming Trump on the people that died in COVID. The Democrat remain paid for by the Democrats. More people have died under Joe Biden than under Donald Trump. So don't get it screwed up. Then he started talking about his Build Back Better program, which Build Back broke. He didn't build back anything. It was a worthless piece of money laundering. Then he's talking about COVID drug is being used for cancer treatment. Well, that's a lie. And they're not even close to a cancer breakthrough drug. So he's giving people false hope. If you've ever seen, if you've seen any kind of false hope, this is it. What else we got? And he's talking about he's created 14 million jobs. No, he has. People going back to work after COVID is not creating jobs. Where are these companies opened in this country to create 14 million jobs? Show me one company that's hired more than, show it to me. I dare you. Every time I ask a question, nobody can answer it. He said that unemployment rate was at a 50-year low. That's a lie. Trump had it lowest before COVID, the Democrat-run COVID virus. Trump had it the lowest it's ever been in years. Not this demented fool. And then he starts talking about buy America. That's what I'm all about. That's why he is buying Venezuelan oil, Russian oil, selling our oil reserves over to China. This man is nothing but a liar. He hasn't bought anything. He's buying everything from China because China owns him. And then I caught him a little slip. He said brain damage instead of brain damage like he has. And then he starts talking about electric cars, making batteries and stuff. Remember, these batteries and the cobalt used to make these batteries are made in China under child labor. The car dealerships can't sell these cars because nobody wants them. Who wants to drive a car where you have to you can drive 200 miles, you have to sit for half an hour, 45 minutes just to charge a battery, then you have to worry about it exploding and catching on fire. And you don't even have to be in it. These electric cars are catching fire everywhere and just burning up. Why would you want a vehicle like that? And then he kept saying, the State of the Union is strong. This is the weakest the State of the Union has been in ever. He is definitely going to be the worst president in the United States history. Oh, and then this idiot, and it's the Democrats' talking point, talking about Trickle-down economics. I went to school for accounting. There's no such thing as trickle-down economics. They keep repeating this phrase that is a made-up word that has no consequence in the economics. It was back from the Reagan era when they made this up. Look it up. There's no such thing as trickle-down economics. He did not cap insulin. All you idiots out there want to keep talking and saying he capped insulin at $35. No, he didn't. He put insulin in at a price negotiation with the insurance companies because so there is no cap on insulin for anyone. So get it out of your heads, you idiots. These are all lies that this man has said. And I'm not even done yet. He said he's cut $160 billion off of a $35 trillion deficit. Now, if you cut $160 billion, that is not a lot of money compared to $35 trillion. He did not cut it. We have the highest deficit ever because of this man and the Democrats overspending. Look it up, you idiot liberals. You'll find out. Oh, and what president in his right mind would ever come out and say he's going to get in trouble if he says that? Cause trouble for a president of the United States, the top power in this country. Nobody has anything you can say to him. But how is he going to get in trouble? Who is he getting in trouble with? You'll find out if he tells us who his puppet masters are. And then he wants to keep blaming Republicans for wanting to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all this stuff, the drug prescription program. They put forth a bill to cut those programs, not the Republicans. There was never once mentioned about the Republicans touching anything like that. Now he wants to give $400 a month away to people. Where's he getting that money from? Who's approved that? Nobody. He's trying to buy votes. That's all he's trying to do. And also he wants to get meddling into people that own rental properties and tell them how much they can charge for rent. Tell them when they can and cannot raise the rent. If that's not dictatorship, I don't know what is. You know, government stays out of people's personal business. We have the worst economy in over 40 years because of Joe Biden and the Democrats overspending. If you don't see that, wake up, do your research, and look it up. Inflation and all that is not getting better. Gas prices are going back up. Food prices are still going up. They've never started going down, you idiots. Then Joe started talking about the kids that are coming across the border, and then where he trafficked 86,000 of these children all over our country, and no one can find them. Let's find those kids before we let more illegal criminals into this country. And yes, they're all illegal criminals. Men, women, child, anything that comes across that border illegally, you're a criminal, because hence the word illegal. And then he throws it in the nose of the Supreme Court of Justices that were sitting there, that he is so lawless and goes against their decision on he cannot pay back student loans. And what's he do? Defies the law and starts doing it anyway. And he did not. Then he talked again about cutting the deficit by $2 trillion. If he cut it by $2 trillion, why is it still $35 trillion and rising? That's a lie again. Now he's talking about he wanting to pay the 1% to pay their fair share. The 1% already pays more. And if you guys don't realize, when the 1% or all the people that own these companies that keep this country going, and water and everything, pay already between, 28 to 30%. With Trump's tax cuts, even to the rich, when they get a tax cut, that means we get it. That's where trickle down would come if it was an actual word. Because you give them a tax break, they lower prices, and that's what we see. We see lower prices. So get it through your heads, you idiots. Yeah, what else we got here? He lied about so much stuff here. Biden has the highest. He has put more money on the deficit than any other president, and that includes Obama. Because Obama did put more under the deficit than Trump did. Trump did put a lot in there because he was trying to recover from COVID. But Biden has done even worse. Then he went on again about the Republicans want to touch Social Security. That's a lie. And he repeated this a couple of times. And this is what he's been saying, and the Democrats trying to put this out as a talking point for votes, trying to brainwash and manipulate more on voter base. This is all Biden inflation, and that's exactly what it is. It's Bidenflation. He's a failure of a president. Now we'll get into the border crisis. This border could have been secured with a swipe of a pen, or Biden could have left Trump's policies in place to stay in Mexico, and none of this would be going on right now. Crime rate would not be at the highest level ever, which he talked about also in here. And saying the crime rate's at a 25% low. No, it's not. It's the highest it's ever been in this country because of Joe Biden's failure of policy. And then he starts talking about he needs permission to secure the border. No, he doesn't. It takes an executive order a swipe of a pen, and he could close this border down right now, because he was talking about that the Republicans refused to sign a legislation that he put forth for border security. It had nothing to do with border security. It had to do with hiring more border agents to process illegal criminals through quicker so they could get on the streets of our country. That's all it had to do with. And they want you to believe that the Republicans stopped it. Oh, we're going to stop this border and we're going to shut it down because I put the legislation through. No, he did not. Look it up again, you idiot liberals. The facts are here. And these are all lies coming from this idiot's mouth. And he's talking about erasing history. Who's the one that's letting everybody rip the statues down of our historical people that's all over this country? That's who's erasing history. And of course, then he's talking about trans people, which is a mental illness in this country. I don't care how you look at it. You can say what you want. You're an idiot if you believe any otherwise. You can't just wake up and say, well, I'm a girl if I'm a guy. If I'm a guy, I'm a girl. Or I'm a tree. I'm a whatever. You can't just wake up one day and say that you're something you're not. That is a mental illness. If you believe that wholeheartedly, then you need to seek help, because that's what it is. The fact is, you are what you are born at. I don't care what you say. You can get a double one of these. That is a fact. Then, of course, you know the Democrats' main thing every time they're in climate crisis. Oh yeah. Nobody got proof of this so-called climate crisis. The only thing they do is want money, and they get money. So where's all that money going to? To pay some scientists to say, yep, weather's bad. Yep, we're going to have a storm again. You guys are idiots if you believe any of that. Then he says that we are safer today. Or do you feel safer under Joe Biden? With 13 plus million illegal criminals causing murders, rapes, assaults, killing people with fentanyl, the illegal guns that are crossing this border that's come in with these people. Do you feel safer now than you were under Trump? Leave some comments below. And of course, you know they had to bring up gun control. So you blame an inanimate object instead of blaming a person. A gun cannot do anything unless a person's there to pull the trigger. And you got so many illegal guns crossing the border, but you do nothing about it, closing the border and stopping these illegal guns. And you wonder why gun crimes are going to go up. Making a law doesn't matter. Criminals don't obey the law. So get it through your heads, you idiots. Now I've got to hurry up because I'm running way too late on this. But everything that I'm telling you, and I've got more and more that he has said, and the wars in this country and everything are because Joe Biden's failure. If you watched that last night, the shit show that it was all lie. If you see any otherwise, you're an idiot. But you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I touched on most of them, not all of them, but the little China bitch has lied to this whole thing just for votes. That's all this is about. So let me know what you guys think. Leave comments and questions below. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section. Share my videos with your friends and family. Join me on Rumble at Country Conservative. Share my videos with your friends and family. This is why this election is so important. This is why I'm covering all these primaries, because we got to get the Democrats out of power. No matter what it takes, they've got to be voted out at the state, local, federal levels. They have to be out. We have to get our country back, and this is the only way to do it. So please get out and vote. Let me know what you think of this video. Share my other videos. Join me on the 13th for the next primary. And you know I'll be watching all these stories, and if I get anything good, you know I'll get them out to you. So in the meantime, this has been the Country Conservative. I'm Charlie, and I'll see you next time.